What up, guys? This is Organically Natural. I've been sitting here talking and didn't even press record, but I wanted to come on and talk about. I'm gonna label this. I'm gonna steal the lyrics from Trick Daddy, but I'm gonna label this video "We So Blind in Our Own Mind." And the reason that I'm saying that is because part of the song that I was listening to this morning was him singing Thug Holiday, and it's "We so blind in our own mind we wouldn't even know God if we confront Him." And a little backstory on how we got there. We were sitting in the car waiting on my daughter's bus to come. It's 20-something degrees outside. It's early. Her bus comes anywhere between 5:35 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So instead of us sitting out there for that extended period of time, in that type of weather, we generally sit in the car. She's strolling through the music. She finds this title called Forgotten Favorites on YouTube. Music, and I'm like, I've never even heard of such a thing. So anything, she gets to the bottom of the list and she's like, Thug Holiday. And I'm like, yeah, that's Trick Daddy, the guy you like to watch on YouTube. She like his little cooking segments that he has. She likes his cooking segment because I hate when people are like, oh, I like your little stove. Oh, I like your little, because I feel like you belittling somebody and you know what you're doing, and I don't want to do that to him at all. Mad respect for him and the contributions that he's done in the Black community in terms of entrepreneurship. But she liked his cooking show that he has on YouTube. So as we're going through everything and we're singing the songs, and she paused the video by the music, unbeknownst to me, as we got out the car to walk her onto the bus, give her a hug and say our goodbyes and love yous. So anyways, I get back in the car and I unpause it because she says, now you got something to listen to on the way back. I'm like, it takes me less than 30 seconds to get back to the house. But whatever. So excuse me. So I'm get back in the car and it starts on the verse of, we're so blind in our own mind we wouldn't even know God if we confront Him. And that's always been one of my favorite lines, but it's just so ironic that it happened to be the line this morning after all of the videos that I made yesterday. How we're one-sided, how we're so trapped in the things that are going on around us that oftentimes we miss the mark. How we hold our stories to ourselves because we're embarrassed or we don't want nobody to judge us. And it just took me back to a whole bunch of things. But the most part is it took me back to when I was pregnant. And when I first got pregnant, we were living in Massachusetts, in the North Attleboro, Massachusetts, and then we moved to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, because my daughter's father had purchased a condo, my husband at the time, and then we ended up a little bit closer to the hospital, but not that much. We were only 10 minutes away from where we had originally were living. Long story short, in the process of me going back and forth to the hospital, there used to be these particular group of homeless people there. And it wasn't until about further along in my pregnancy where I was going more continuous that I started noticing the same people out there at the same time, the same patterns. But what threw me for a loop is when I was towards my house and these same people are now over there. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you're homeless, because I grew up in a very impoverished area of Savannah, Georgia, and I know that if you're homeless, you don't have the means unless somebody brought you a city bus ticket to get from point A to point B. And they shall not know 45 minutes to an hour away from the original location that you were in. So it just started to make me see that, I don't really think these people are homeless like they say they are. This has to be some type of money scheme or whatever the case may be. And then the more and more I started thinking it, the more and more the news stations were revealing how these are organizations where, they swap out each other. They got people driving them to locations and so on and so forth. So it just got me to thinking. I used to tell God, look, Lord, if you come back as a homeless person, I'm going to fail this test every time. And I remember my friends used to be like, why you keep saying that? Like, why are you so hard on homeless? I said, it's not that I'm hard on the people who actually need the help or who genuinely need the help. What turns me off from helping people is the people who are becoming rich because they're not paying taxes on this money, because it's donations. They're claiming that they can't get jobs, but there's hundreds and thousands of jobs that are open, even right now. Yeah, I don't want to get up and work a 9 to 5 either. I would love to just stand on the street corner and beg and get money and don't owe the government anything, don't pay no taxes or whatever the case may be. But I don't get that luxury. I don't get that leisure. And so that's why the song resonated to me, is because I was so blind in my own mind, my own thoughts, my own beliefs about people. And, you know, the guilt was starting to eat at me, which is why I continually said, Lord, if you come back as a homeless person, I'm going to fail the test every time. And it was a way of me self-soothing the fact that that's how I felt. Because God says if you do it from your heart, it don't matter what they are. It don't matter if they're lying. If you're really giving from your heart, what does it matter their backstory? And I just started realizing, like, this song is so relatable to all of us, because a lot of times we make excuses on why we can and why we can't, or why we will and why we won't help somebody out. And we got to sometimes get out of our own minds and our own thoughts, because we never know when God sent somebody in his liking to put you through a test, to see if you right where he needs you to be, to see if you're going to turn your back on somebody who needs something. That's in my instance. I remember there was one morning my daughter and I went to Chick-fil-A to get some food, and I am meticulous about not giving people money over there. But that said Chick-fil-A, because I watched them get out of cars. I watched them group up in the parking lot, and then they break off to go to their selected areas or prospective areas. And I'm racing the clock, so that's why I'm hurrying up, because my alarm's going to go off and it's going to stop the video. And I just never said that I would do it. But this particular morning, we had horrible customer service at Chick-fil-A. But the manager really did a great job rectifying the situation. And because she was generous in her kindness, I remember when we got to this traffic light, I gave the guy the money that we would have spent at Chick-fil-A. I had given it to the homeless guy. My daughter was like, I thought you said that. And I said, well, you know, God blessed us, and I need to be a blessing to somebody else, regardless of what it is, regardless of how I feel, because she could have did the same thing. She could have judged me based on who she thought I was, and decided that she wasn't going to be generous in how she treated me. So I need to treat other people how I want to be treated, and not based on the things that are in my head. And it just so happened to be that because I got blessed, I was able to bless somebody else. But I don't want to be on here long, because I got to get ready for work. I just wanted to say, what are we blinding ourselves from, that we aren't able to see God because we're in our own heads about things that may or may not be true? All right, y'all, let me get out of here before this alarm goes off. I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. Happy Monday. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and blessings. Bye.